At the edge of our town, eerie sounds of laughter and sometimes heavy sobbing come from an old, abandoned house. Not only that, but after sunset, it sounds as if someone is busy in the kitchen. The distinct sizzle of something frying in hot oil echoes from within. The strangest part, no one has lived in that house for years. The owner, Mr. Sabur, moved to the city with his family 5 years ago. Since it has been abandoned for so long, the property has turned into a dense, overgrown jungle. How could these sounds suddenly emerge from an empty house? Who is in there? Initially, only a few knew about the sounds, but gradually, the whole town found out. Driven by curiosity, a few brave residents went inside during the evening, but they found the house cold and empty. Hearing the noises from the outside but seeing no one inside made everyone realize that this was a supernatural infestation. Once the town realized the house was haunted by dark entities, they didn't take it seriously at first, but the real problem started when the fear began to spread. The main market road passes right by that house. People are now terrified to return home via that road in the late afternoon or after dark. Even if the rest of the town feels safe, the moment you pass that house, the sounds begin. Moreover, massive black snakes are often seen coiled on the road, and giant shadowy dogs and cats sit by the gates, watching. Driven by curiosity, I went to the house one afternoon. Many others were there, waiting just like me. After a long wait, a high-pitched cackle erupted from the attic, followed by the sound of something frying in a pan. A few people rushed inside, but the noise stopped instantly. They searched every corner, but found no one. As darkness fell, we all retreated home in fear. When I arrived home, my mother asked, "Leo, Nishat, where have you been?" I smiled and said, "I went to see the ghosts. Haven't you heard the stories about Mr. Sabur's old house? I actually heard them cooking. I almost wanted to taste what they were making, but the house went silent as soon as we entered." My mother laughed and said, "Why chase ghosts when you have a celestial bride at home? You eat your wife's incredible cooking every day. Isn't that enough?" At her words, my wife, Eliana Aishapari, came out of the room. A quick note. Many of you don't know about Eliana. I am Leo, and Eliana is my wife. She wears a special ancient bangle on her wrist that holds immense power. Because of this relic, ordinary dark spirits cannot stand against her. In this story, you will also hear about Silas, Salam Kabiraj. Silas is a legendary occult specialist from our town. He often takes me with him when he goes to cleanse a place of dark forces. Eliana asked, "Were you talking about me, Mother?" Mother smiled. "Yes. Leo went hunting for spirits, but came back empty-handed. I went into our room and Eliana followed me. She sat on a bed and asked, 'What happened?' I told her. There's a house at the end of town where people hear laughing, crying, and cooking. It's a bizarre case." Eliana whispered, "It's definitely shadow entities. Do you want me to go and investigate?" I replied, "No, not yet. If you go, they might sense your power and cause even more trouble. What I saw today is enough for now." I spent the evening playing with our son, Ethan, Yamin, and went to sleep after dinner. The next morning, I heard that Mr. Sabur had sent word to his brother to bring an exorcist to clear the house. The brother did exactly that and hired a specialist from another city. I heard the exorcist would arrive by evening. I've traveled a lot with old man Silas and seen him clear supernatural threats before. So I wanted to see how this new specialist would handle it. At sunset, I joined the crowd near the manor. Someone remarked, "Why call a stranger when we have Silas? There is no occult specialist as great as Silas in the entire state." Mr. Sabur's brother replied, "Silas is away visiting family. He won't be back for 2 days. My brother wanted this settled now. Look, there he is." The exorcist arrived and asked about the problem. The townspeople explained the sounds and the shadowy animals on the road. The specialist nodded, closed his eyes, and began chanting ancient incantations. Suddenly, the house screamed. Laughter and sobbing erupted from the walls. The specialist signaled us to stay back and entered the house alone. A few minutes passed in agonizing silence. Suddenly, to everyone's horror, the specialist was lifted into the air and hurled out of the house. He flew over the porch and slammed into the dirt road with a sickening thud. He scrambled to his feet, trembling in terror. "It's impossible," he shrieked. "You cannot clear this place. There isn't just one or two. There are 10 dark entities living in that kitchen. They will kill me if I stay. If you want to live, run." He fled into the night, and the terrified townspeople scrambled back to their homes. Terrifying events at the manor. Everyone fled to their homes. When I arrived, my mother was waiting, her face pale with worry. I told her everything, how the city exorcist was hurled through the air like a rag doll. "Leo," she whispered, "this is a nightmare. Those entities in that house, they are far more powerful than we thought. Your father often returns late from the shop, using that road, and you pass it too. What if something happens to you?" I tried to calm her. "Don't worry, Mom. Eliana is here with her relic. Besides, Grandfather Silas will be back in 2 days. He'll know how to drive him out." Mother sighed, still unsettled. "I hope so. I'll tell your father to come home early from now on. We can't take any chances." She then retreated to the kitchen, her hands trembling as she started the stove. I turned to Eliana. "Do you think they are really that strong? They weren't here before? Where did they come from?" Eliana looked toward the dark woods and replied, "Shadow entities are nomads, Leo. They migrate. They've chosen that house for a reason, and they won't leave easily." The next day, a tragedy struck that shook our entire community. After dusk, 3 local men were walking home from the market. As they approached the cursed Blackwood manor, they saw a massive black snake stretched across the middle of the road. Driven by fear and anger, they convinced themselves it wasn't a normal snake, but one of the entities. "It shouldn't be blocking the road," one of them growled. They grabbed heavy tree branches and began to strike. They beat the snake until it lay lifeless, but as they stood over it, another massive snake rose. Its hood flared, hissing with a sound that felt like ice in their veins. In a blind panic, they attacked again, killing the second snake as well. Suddenly, the trees around them began to thrash violently, though there was no wind. Sensing a sudden shift in the air, the men ran as fast as they could back to their homes. That night, the horror truly began. By morning, all 3 men were found dead in their beds. The entire town was in mourning. When we looked at their bodies, it didn't look like a natural death. They looked as if they had seen something terrifying, their bodies bruised by invisible blows. We buried them together that afternoon, a somber silence hanging over the graveyard. After the funeral, a group of angry townsfolk gathered. "Enough is enough," one shouted. "Our town was peaceful until those things arrived. Sabur's house is the source of this evil. Let's take our axes and sledgehammers and tear that cursed manor to the ground right now. If Sabur ever comes back, he can build a new one." The crowd roared in agreement, ready to march. But then an elder stepped forward. "Wait, Silas is coming home today. Let's talk to him first. If Silas can drive them out without destroying the property, let him try. If he fails, then we burn it." Reluctantly, the crowd agreed to wait. Late that afternoon, my grandfather, Silas, finally returned. I rushed to his house immediately. "Grandfather, you're finally back. Did you have a good visit? You won't believe what has happened here." Silas listened intently as I described the failed exorcism, the 3 deaths, and the town's plan to destroy the house. His expression grew grave. 3 deaths in one night," he muttered. "This has gone beyond a simple haunting. This is a blood feud now." The city specialist was terrified. "Grandpa," I added. "He said there are 10 of them." Silas nodded slowly. "A lot has happened in just 3 days. They are even planning to tear the house down today, but they are waiting for your word." Silas stood up, his eyes sharp. "Is that so? Then we must act quickly, but I won't go in blind. I need to consult someone who knows the ancient laws of the shadows." He sat in his ritual circle and began to summon the great guardian spirit, the entity that had been a protector of his father and grandfather before him. "I need to ask the great spirit about the origins of these 10 shadows," Silas whispered. "Only then will I know if we are walking into a cleansing or a slaughter." As Silas began his ritual, the air in the room turned cold, and a booming voice that didn't sound human filled the air. "The secret Silas is about to uncover will change everything we thought we knew about Blackwood."